The Cosby Show ran on NBC from 1984 to 1992 and focused on the daily interactions of the Huxtable family, an upper-middle-class African-American family living in Brooklyn, New York. The family consisted of Cliff Huxtable, played by Bill Cosby, who was an obstetrician, and his wife, attorney Claire Huxtable, played by Felicia Rashad. They have 4 daughters and 1 son, Sandra, Denise, Theo, Vanessa, and Rudy, who constantly kept their parents on their toes. The show had a great impact on American culture and made TV history for fighting off black family stereotypes. It also revived the family sitcom genre, as most in the early 1980s involved kids talking back to their parents and getting their own way without any repercussions. In The Cosby Show, the kids were smart, but the parents were smarter, and definitely in charge. For 8 seasons, America stuck with the Huxtable family, which made it the most successful show of the 1980s. The series won 6 Emmys and 2 Golden Globes, and led the Nielsen ratings for 5 straight years. It is safe to say that The Cosby Show was the most wholesome show on television, which contrasts greatly with the crimes that Bill Cosby would eventually be convicted of. Let's revisit The Cosby Show to see how it came to be and learn some behind-the-scenes trivia about the production of the show. In Bill Cosby's original pitch for the show, Cliff Huxtable was a limousine driver, and Claire was a plumber, which gave the show a more working-class feel. Cosby's wife, Camille, told her husband that she thought the TV couple should be more representative of their own family, 2 white-collar professional parents. When producers agreed, Bill Cosby made the characters a doctor and an attorney. During the pilot episode, it is established that the couple has only 4 children. Originally, Denise was the oldest of the offspring, followed by Theo, Vanessa, and Rudy. But once the series was poised to become a hit, Bill Cosby decided to add an additional older child, one who was away at college and was an example of successful parenting. This is why they introduced Sandra, a student away at Princeton University. The eldest daughter of the Huxtable clan, Sandra, was nearly played by singer Whitney Houston. This was until producers saw 26-year-old Sabrina LaBeouf. LaBeouf had actually attended Yale and had more acting experience than Houston, who seemed more intent on becoming a recording artist. Cosby agreed that LaBeouf was a better fit for the high-achieving character. Daughter Denise was the wild child among the Huxtables. She always wore the craziest fashions and dated boys her father couldn't stand. Actress Lisa Bonet often pushed Cosby's patience even more than her character did, and she was often late for tapings or sometimes didn't bother to show up at all. The turning point for both actress and character came in 1986, when 19-year-old Bonet spent her hiatus co-starring in the movie Angel Heart, which had to edit many scenes just to avoid an X rating. Topless photos of Bonet were being leaked to the media to promote the film, and Cosby was not happy. Denise was a popular character, so instead of firing her, Cosby solved the problem by spinning her off onto her own series, called A Different World, set at Hillman College. Throughout the show's run, The Cosby Show became known for its fashion, and Dr. Huxtable's sweaters were certainly a trademark of the show. The sweaters were actually designed by one artist. In one episode of the show, Cosby wore a unique sweater designed by Dutch fashion designer Koos van den Aker. After the appearance, mail poured in as viewers asked where they could buy the same sweater. Because of this, Cosby asked him to make more of the unique sweaters, and a legacy was born. It is pretty common for some elements of a series to differ from the pilot episode once it's picked up by a network. So it is understandable that in the Cosby pilot, the layout of the house is nothing like the brownstone we later see, and Theo is referred to as Teddy. But a mistake that was overlooked during the first season was the establishing exterior shot of the nameplate to Dr. Heathcliff Huxtable's basement office. The engraving displays his name as Clifford Huxtable, MD, which is not the correct name of the character. Speaking of the basement office, this is where there are connections to Cosby's real-life sexual misconduct. As stated earlier, the character was initially supposed to be a limousine driver. Cosby decided that his character would be a doctor, but not just any doctor, an obstetrician. Of all the specialties he could have chosen for the character, the man accused by more than 60 women of slipping them drugs for the purpose of sexual assault intentionally made his character one that has access to prescription drugs and treats only female patients who are pregnant in his isolated basement office. At the very least, it is a creepy coincidence, but to me, it seems more like a clue as to what he was up to during this time period. Cosby was found guilty of 3 counts of aggravated indecent assault and sentenced to 3 to 10 years in prison in September of 2018. The ironic thing was during the 1980s, Cliff Huxtable was ranked the #1 greatest TV dad of all time on TV Guide's list of the 50 best. Bill Cosby seemed to rule the show with an iron fist. Not only was he responsible for pushing Lisa Bonet off the show, but it is also rumored that he fired actor Carl Anthony Payne II. Payne played Theo's best friend, Cockroach, a popular and funny character on the show. Cosby requested that he cut his hair, but Payne refused to do it shortly after he was let go from the show. As with many shows, there are a few notable guest stars who go on to big things. For The Cosby Show, that was a 4-year-old Alicia Keys, who appeared in an early episode as one of Rudy's friends. Also, Adam Sandler got his first acting job playing Theo's friend, Smitty. So what did you think of the show? It's strange to revisit a show that was so huge at the time, but has been tarnished by such horrible crimes. Let me know what you think about how The Cosby Show is remembered, or should it be forgotten altogether? Leave me a comment below, and make sure to hit the subscribe button if you enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for more episodes, and thank you so much for watching.